Okay guys, so this is going to be the final part of our video. Now in the previous video we were able to create this cloud function. We created this function which just sends a response hello from my cloud function right over here. This is what we did in the last video. So in this video the first thing we are going to do is to create an account on Africa's token platform. So open a new tab, head over to africastoken.com. And over here we need to create an account. So let's click on login, click on register, and then here let's sign up with Google. And we need to pass in we need to create the password. So the password must be an uppercase, it must have a number and a special symbol which is at least 8 characters. So I'm going to create mine, click on OK, and then we wait for this. So I'll save this. Good. So now we've successfully created an account on Africa's token, right? So we have to answer some few details here. So I am a software developer, click on next. And how are you familiar with this product? I'm very familiar with it. Next. Building, like this. So this is just some information they are going to require from you. You select all these things. So let's see, how did you hear about this? So I don't know, word of mouth. Click on next, and that's that. Great. So let's start building. So the first thing we are going to do is head over to the Sandbox app over here, and what we are going to focus on is here on the USSD. Great. So on the USSD we have the options of getting the service code. So the service code is what we are going to use to get this code, right? So we can, if you want a dedicated service code, you get something like this, but this is a shared service code. So depending on the one you want to use, you can reach out and then they set it up for you. Good. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a channel. So we click on create channel over here, and then over here we have to pass in the callback URL. So this URL we have to copy it and let's paste it in here. So paste the URL over there, and then the channel, so you can come up with some random number. So let's use something like 2 3 4 5, and let's see if it's available. We can use this, but if it's not, they'll give us some list of available channels that we can use. So this is not available, but we have suggestions for something like this, 47762. So let's use that instead, 47762, then click on create channel. So this is it, we have this service code done. So now what we are going to do is we are going to write out the logic for this this callback URL, and then afterwards we will launch the simulator to test this service code. So that's what we are going to do right now. So let's head over to VS Code, and we are going to need some packages. So we are going to need some dependencies. We are going to use Express to spin up a server, and then we will use body parser as well. So let's install these two right now. So npm install Express, and then we have to install body parser like that. Hit on enter. So once these two packages are installed, we'll come over here and then we start writing code for that as well. Great. So we have these two installed. Let's double check. So head over to package.json, and then in the dependencies, let's see over here, I think. Good. So we have body parser and we have Express installed. That's nice. So let's head over to the index.js. Let's delete this. We'll come back to that in a little while. So we already have the firebase function imported. Next thing we have to do is to import Express. So say Express is equal to require Express and then we need to import body parser as well. So const body parser, correct. So it's also going to require body parser, great. So we have these 3 packages installed, right? These 3 dependencies, those are the things that we are going to use. So right now, let's just create a new instance of express. So say const app is equal to express, great. And then now what we need to do is to set up the route. Okay, so what we need to do is set up the route. So say app, this app dot post. So we are setting up a post request. So what we are going to do is take the route and then a callback function. So here it's going to be slash USSD, or yes, let's just make it slash USSD. It doesn't matter. You can call this route any name at all you want. So slash USSD, and then it takes the request and then the request and response callback function like this. Great. So now that we have this, we need to pass in some data or some information, right? So here we are going to declare const, and then we need the session ID. We need the session ID. We need the service code. We need the phone number, and we need the text, right? So text like this. Great. So these are going to come from the request body. So we say request dot body like that, and that's that. So now that we have this, we can proceed with our application. So after this, let's fix this. So since let's use body parser here. So app.use body parser dot JSON. Great. And then let's add this line to app.use body parser dot URL encoded, and then set this to extended false. Great. So the next thing we need to do is to write the logic for what we are for the application, right? So when you type in something like star 123 star, you have the menu option, and then you have to enter in the number that corresponds to the option you want to use. So that's what we are going to do here. So say let response. So in order not to confuse these things, let me call this res and rec, right? That's the convention. So let's use rec and res, and so I can use response over here. So response is what we are going to get back, right? So let me just declare it as empty for now, and now let's start writing the logic. So if the text we get back, so if the text the user enters is empty for the first time, right? So for the first time, if the request is made and there's no nothing's said or nothing has been entered, then the response we are going to get back or we are going to send is this. So let's use backticks here, and we are going to type in CON, and then we are going to say welcome to the menu, something like this. Welcome to the menu, and the options under the menu would be, so 1 to, let's say, check my account, and then 2 would be check phone number, right? Check my account, check phone number. Great. So after this, what we need to do is write the else statement. So if this is not the first thing, and then let's say the user enters the option 1, okay, so if the user enters the option 1, so we say else if like this, else if the text we are getting back is 1, right? So else if text equal 1, like that, then that means the user has entered this option here to check something from their account. So let's write the logic for this as well. So say response is going to be equal to, but bring the backtick, and then we say con, say choose account information to view, something like this. Choose account information to view. So the first one would be account number, right? Account number. And the second one will be account balance. So account balance. Great. So we have, if the user enters the first option, that's this one, this is the menu response they are going to get. Great. So what if the user enters in the option 2, that's the check phone, right? So let's write the logic for that as well. So say if the text is equal the option 2, right? So if the option is equal to the second option, then we get the phone number, and then we pass it here. Is that okay? Right. So over here we are going to say response is equal to, so since we are going to, after this, the only option would be to leave. So say end, so END. Remember, these are supposed to be caps, so CON caps, END caps, right? So here we are going to say your phone number is, and then the name of that phone number. So we use string interpolation over here, and we say phone number, right? So this phone number we are getting back. Great. So after that, the next thing we do is, if the user enters something like star, for this option it will be something like *1, then *1 to enter here, and then *1, something like that. Then that means they want to directly access this section. So what that will be is, else if the option the user enters is equal 1*1, something like this. If that is what the user enters, then we are going to get the account number for them. So here I'm going to hard code that value. So I'm going to say const account number, and this can be any number at all you want. So const account number, I'm going to call it AC 100032223 something, just a bunch of random numbers. And then let's send the response. So say response is going to be, here is also going to be the end, and your account number is, so let's use string interpolation again, account number, just like that. And then the last one, if the user enters *1, *2, so we've done this. So what if the user enters *1, *2? So let's write the logic for that as well. So else if the text is equal 1, *2, so you can chain these logic as many as you like, and then just provide the appropriate response you want to send back. Okay, so here let's declare, so that's the account balance. So let's declare something for the account balance. So over here, let's hard code that value. So const account balance is equal to, so let's say GHC 10,000 Ghana cedis, right? 10,000 Ghana cedis, and then let's send a response as well. So response is going to be end, since that's the final one. So END, sorry, your account balance is, and then let's use string interpolation over there as well. So that's going to be balance, we call the account balance. Great. So with this, we are done with the logic for this. So the next thing we have to do is to send this response back, right? So what we are going to do is, after this one, we res.set, and then we specify the content type. So we say content type, only the C is capital, content type, and that is text/plain, like this. And then we get the response, so res.send, like that, and this is going to be the response. Great. So with this, we are done. The next thing we have to do is to export this function, right? We need to export this function. So what we are going to do, we come down here, right? So now to export it, we come to exports dot, so let's give it a name. Let's call it new USSD is equal to functions dot https dot on request, and then we pass in the express app. So we say app, just like that, and this is set. So with this, we are done. Save the application, and now let's run this. So let's run the deploy. So we say firebase deploy. So we run firebase deploy, and we wait for it to be deployed, and then we proceed. Great. So we've successfully deployed this application. So we get the URL back over here. So let's copy that. So if we go back to the Records Token API, and then let's modify this. So edit it, paste this in, and then add /USSD. That's the name of the route. Copy it, paste the exact same thing in the event URL, and then click on save. Great. So we'll be using the service code in a bit, so copy that as well, and let's go to the simulator. So let's launch the simulator. Great. So we get the emulator over here. So right now what we have to do is to pass in a phone number. So I'm going to type in a phone number, something like this, and then click on connect. So this is just for testing. If you want to use the actual service code, you have to reach out to Africa's Token, and then you get their pricing. So you have to purchase using either a shared service code or a dedicated service code. So let's paste our code over here and then hit on the call button, and we get it. It says welcome to the menu. Number 1, check my account. Number 2, check phone. So let's start with check phone first, and let's choose the option 2, and it says your phone number is this, the phone number we just entered. So that is working fine. Next, let's start with option 1. So let's go to option 1 and let's choose. So we have choose an account information to view. So 1 is account number, 2nd is account balance. So let's choose the account number, and it says this is your account number. Now it's the same as the account number we declared over here, right? It's the same as that account number. So let's check the balance we have. So check account, check my account balance. So that's 2, and it says your account balance is 10,000 Ghana cedis. It would be nice to have this in the account. All right, so this is it. This is how we create a simple USSD. So if you have like a backend services, you already created your backend service where you're handling transactions or anything related to payment, you can set up a simple USSD code like this to handle all the logic. So to be able to make the request. So now that's it for this video. We've successfully created learned how to create a USSD application by using JavaScript and Firebase cloud functions. So with that said, I hope you found this tutorial useful, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. And if this was helpful to you, please leave a like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye for now.